Today I'm working on a couple of projects. This buffet's the first one. I drove at like 2 hours round trip to go pick it up. And I paid about $200 for it, which is a lot, except for, at least here in Utah, buffets sell for a good amount of money. So it's worth my 2-hour drive and $200 because I'll sell it for probably somewhere in the $600 range when I'm all done.
Yeah, even though this is in really good condition, it doesn't need a lot of repair. There's a couple things with the drawers that need fixed. It still sells for about $300, $350 more once we paint it. I mean, there's just no profit in it if we just leave it like this or were to restore it.
People always say leave them original, but this is actually, based on the dovetailing, it's like 40s, mass-produced piece. So it's not like it's a priceless antique, and people just really love them painted. And here's another thing to people about painting antiques. A few people have told me, especially like the older pieces, sometimes when you paint them, it actually helps preserve the wood underneath from getting too dried out. And if you're not using a latex, if you're using a chalk paint or a milk paint, it doesn't get gummy, which means if you ever want to take the paint off, it's much easier to take off a chalk, clay, or milk paint than a gummy old latex. So don't worry, I'm not ruining it. So this probably looks like a boneyard here, but this is a, I don't know, like vintage antique Hoosier. It's probably from the 40s as well. At some point they changed the hinges, and I'm not a big fan of that, and they changed the hardware out, at least on a few of them. So they did this really yucky, like latexy paint job with lots of drips. So Zeb's gonna take this outside for me, sand off all the drips and stuff, and then probably fill all the hinge holes so we can put some new hinges on it that I like. And then I'm gonna probably go to Hobby Lobby and get some new hardware for it. I'm not sure, let me show you this. I don't think this is original. I think somebody etched this glass. I'm gonna clean it up, but
yeah, I don't think it's original.
I'm gonna look, because it's just not very crisp line, so I was gonna look on Pinterest and see if I could find a way to get this off of there, because I'm not digging the frosted glass.
Well, if they actually etched it, then there's no way to get that rid of it.
I don't think they etched it. I think it's frosted. It feels like it's, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Back out in the old dusty garage, I've got these two pieces of backer board cut out. These are actually just, I guess you could say, upcycled from an old hutch, but these are my inserts here. They were just perfect. They're right at 1/8 inch thick, and they should just slide right in. Oh, watch them not go in and make me struggle. We'll try this one. You know, I had them in here before I started filming, just to make sure that they fit, and now they're making me look like I didn't prepare it well. Alright, I'm going to cut a little more off of that one because I don't like what it's doing. Okay, we're going to try this approach to getting these in. I wanted them to be tight, but I didn't want them to not be able to go into their grooves. Alright, so that worked a little better on that first one, to just kind of slide them in to the slots. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah. Alright, dividers are in. I am going to go ahead and paint these up now. I'm going to go ahead and paint these with Fairy Chalk Mother and Snowflake. And I'm just going to spray the insides and touch up the outsides, and that should be enough. Here, grab this side. We'll see how this fits up on there. Now you got to leave a little hangover on that other end, because I'm gonna put like, leave it. Don't make it flush.
Because you're gonna put another board.
Yeah, don't put it flush, because I'm gonna put another board and fill that corner in.
When you do this, you get like this powder on here. So before we seal it, I'll take a damp cloth and wipe it off and get all the powder off.
You can see where we grabbed it right here. I don't know if you can see that.
It's just from where the stain is literally aging and eating through the wood.
So you
really
can see,
weathers it.
You can see my fingerprints right there where I grabbed it and hauled it in, but once we seal it, that won't do that anymore. It ended up a little taller. I mismeasured on some stuff, so it's a little taller, so you could actually stand at it too pretty easily and work like this if you need to.
The seat moves up and down.
Yeah.
Well, we have to be taller because you're going to put the little thingamajigger for the keyboard.
Yep. So imagine, here, we'll take this off the tripod.
Imagine I'm here shipping all the paint that you're buying.
So I don't know if I'm gonna get to it today, probably not. I'm gonna do shelves all up this wall here and along the sides where the monitor, so the monitor is gonna go right here. Along the sides will be shelves. And then this corner here, I'm gonna extend out to the wall and make a cutout so that it fits right there. And then that'll have, you wanna show them where we're gonna put your paper? Oh. So our shipping packing supplies, that'll have a roll of the paper there.
And then I think the what's it called, bubble wrap?
Yeah, the bubble wrap.
Are you gonna put that on a roll too? That's like a really big when it comes though.
It's not gonna look pretty.
Well, why don't we just stick it under there?
I could probably put it down there, but I was gonna put electronic components down there.
I think we could just put it over here. I think just this on the wall is fine.
Okay.
And then I need an area, I need like a bin for all my packing peanuts.
Yeah, we'll have lots of...
We're real green. We don't buy packing peanuts, but if you get them from us, it's because when people ship us packages, I save all of the shipping supplies and I reuse it to ship my packages.
It's pretty awesome, actually. Like, we get enough from Amazon and things that we order, like just daily household items that we use, that we're able to just put that back into packing on our own stuff.
Saves us money and it's green, so.
This part of the video where Jamie paints the buffet was filmed on Facebook Live. If you want to see those full videos, I'll put the links in the description of this video here on YouTube.
White Swan is like the whitest white that DIY has, but it's still a little bit creamy, I would say. And it's not as white, like if you're looking for a white, Snowflake by Fairy Chalk Mother is like the whitest white that I found. But this is the whitest white that DIY carries. I just submitted pictures for my Pinterest classes, and today I gotta send in my formal application to teach. I'm signing up. I'm gonna be teaching hopefully in Dallas, San Diego, and Utah, and then I'll have a booth in Utah. I get asked a lot about brush strokes. And there's a few things you can do to reduce brush strokes. You can get your brush wet before you put your paint on. Try not to overwork the paint. Once you get it on nice and smooth, leave it alone. All of the paints I use have self-leveling properties, so they get less brush strokey as they dry. You can also take fine sandpaper and get it wet and sand it smooth. Personally, if I don't want brush strokes at all, I just use my spray gun. We just did a YouTube video where I used Fairy Chalk Mother and sprayed a hutch, and it literally took like 15 minutes. White paint job. I do have to say that I did have to use some shellac. I had bleed through on it. A lot of these older pieces, it just happens no matter what. I don't know another better way to control bleed through other than shellac. It does stink, so I wouldn't suggest spraying it inside the house, but I had to because that's what will control the bleed through. What I did was, once I put the first coat and I saw where all the bleed through was, then I put like 3 coats of shellac almost over the whole thing, anywhere where there was bleed through. And then I opened all the windows and left for a few hours. So, and then I put the air purifier in here and it's better now. So, I had to go get Jack and I had to go get furniture anyway. So what we're doing right now is, now that it's painted, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna distress it with my sanding sponge. Oops, let me grab that. And then also I'm gonna wet distress it when I'm done with that, and then I'll show you how to seal it with Oil X. So I've got 180 sanding block here. I already have dust all over me, I already got started. But what I do is I like to sand all the detail areas and just bring out some of the distressing. And then where there's brush strokes, like my brush strokes go this way, so to sand them smooth, I like to take my sanding sponge and go the opposite direction. I actually already did this cabinet door, it's already done, but I'm just showing you, just go the opposite. So on these ones, my brush strokes are going this way, so I'm gonna take my sanding sponge and go the opposite direction of my brush strokes to smooth them out. And I'm not gonna try to get rid of all of the brush strokes because I hand painted it and I want it to look hand painted, but I'm just trying to smooth it out. And that's the thing with like DIY paints, Sweet Pickins, chalky paint, like chalky type paints, Fairy Chalk Mother. Now, not all brands are created equal. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But over and above the latex paint, you can sand it and it just powders instead of peels. If you're using a latex paint and you were to do this, it's just gonna peel off. So you can sand it pretty smooth, and if you really want to invest a lot of time in sanding, You can pretty much get rid of almost all of the brush strokes. I'm not worried about it. I just want it kind of smooth. And then I will wet distress it, which will kind of smooth out any other areas, and then we'll be ready for oil wax. And then once that's all done, I will open all the cabinet doors, all of these drawers, and I will sand and clean all of the edges. So that way there's not like a line where the paint stopped and it's like all built up and chunky and gross. This is the way I do it. I could have taken the drawers out, but sometimes these older drawers, they're different, like they slide in weird. So I like to paint the sides far enough to where you can't see where they slide in. So I've just got water in this bowl. And I'm gonna remove all the sanding dust as well as smooth it out, and it kind of reactivates it so I can distress it a little more if I want to.
Hi everybody.
You're saying hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made something on preschool.
You made something at preschool? What did you make at preschool?
I just made a competition at preschool.
You made a competition at your preschool?
Yeah, it was so good.
Jack is 3 and he is my shadow. Do you like to help Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's your favorite thing to do with Mom?
I like to paint flashlight wood.
Oh, you like to paint the wood?
Yeah.
What?
And I like to paint different kind of stuff. And I like to paint fixtures.
Oh, okay. Fixtures?
Yeah.
What's a fixture?
A picture means
Oh, picture. It's dry now. You really want to make sure your piece is all the way dry. The nice thing about oil wax is it's no VOC, all natural. It kind of smells like a number 2 pencil. It leaves like a satin finish. So what you do is you just put it on, and then once you've got it on, you just wait like, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, and then you just buff it off. That's basically it, and you can do multiple coats. I usually do 1 coat over the whole piece, and then, oh Jack, turn the light back on. I do 1 coat over the whole piece, and then I do like 2 or 3 coats on the top. And you can buff them with a lint-free rag and kind of get like a satin sheen out of it. And this is just one of those IKEA towels, lint-free.
I don't know if you can see the angle of this corner very well on camera, but I got my speed square out, and the way I'm going to determine if this is actually a 45 is I'm just going to put this 45 against the other 45, and I can see here that this 90's off the wall. If this were a flat straight wall, I'd have a 90-degree angle there, and this angle here would also be 90, so that confirms for me that this is actually a pretty true 45-degree angle. So I can just cut this at a 45 and then piece it in as I go. Let's see how my cutting did. That's pretty good there. Pretty close. Might have to cut a little bit of angle down there because this isn't completely flat. Since I left this a live edge, it kind of angles out, so to match that up I may have to bring it around, but this back end is going to be straight. Now I just need to cut a little triangle back here to fill that in, and we'll be good to go. I'm just going to take my pencil and mark on the underside right along this line where it runs, a lot like I do with the trim. That way I can just get a perfect nice cut right where I need it, and then I'll fit that in. So if I was smart and had thought ahead of how Jamie was going to use this desk, I would have just made these long pieces and just put them together with this angle instead of piecing them together like this. But you know, now I'm stuck with this, but it'll work. It'll work out okay. Now it's time to fit these pieces together. This is just my countersink bit. I could use like a pocket hole jig or something like that, but I don't. These aren't the same height, so I'm just gonna put the screws in, and that way hopefully save me some time, and I'll have to just shim this up when I'm done. I've got this board here, and this is going to be support across the back, and I'm also going to use that to secure the desk to the wall so it doesn't move around. I used polyacrylic in satin finish to seal this, and I'm using the 3-inch foam brush from Worcester.
So we didn't get to the Hoosier today. That might happen, but it's looking like probably not. I don't even know if we'll get to tomorrow, because tomorrow I have a project I gotta do with the 8 to 11-year-old girls at church. And then I have bunko, and that's really important. And I'm gonna be shipping out like 1 million packages because my milk paint, woo woo, I'm picking up that in the morning. And I know that my DIY paint is coming tomorrow. Then Saturday, I'm getting my huge order of fairy chalk mother, so gonna be shipping.
All right, so we got Jamie casually just in here. I caught her just chilling out at the desk.
He did not. He told me to sit here so he could film me. Let's be realistic. Does this look like I'm ready to be on the computer? I'm covered in paint. I'm finishing that buffet.
So here's the desk, and there's the divider for the boxes, and she's got envelopes in there. Now I'm gonna make a pull-out for the keyboard so that won't be on top of the desk, and this is the laptop just sitting there chilling out. But over here we've got the printer situation, and that may change too. But we don't have the shelves done yet. There's gonna be shelves. So it's like day 3. We're still not finished with the office. We can't do a tour, and we're not gonna have the buffet finished today. So that's just life. Yeah, we had the buffet's done. It just needs to be buffed and all the hardware put on it. But I can't take the pictures. What we didn't show them was the hour and a half we spent picking at my aunt's house because she's getting ready to sell her house, and we got a bunch of furniture from her. Yeah, the day kind of got away with us. Anyways, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day. We will finish the office, the buffet, maybe the Hoosier. I don't know. Tomorrow's a crazy busy day. The shelves are going to be cool because I'm going to build some simple corbels and show you guys how I do that. And then that's what I'm going to put the shelves up with. And also show you how to do a shelf with the corbels so that you can know how to mount them. Thank you so much for supporting us and subscribing to our channel. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't. That way you can get notifications. Also the little bell so you know when we have new videos up. And maybe tomorrow will be the day that we get this all the way finished, and I'll get you pretty pictures of that buffet.